Hey guys, welcome to Intellect Digest. I'm your host Rohit Khurana. Let's get started with this episode. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick difference between the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 and Redmi 3S. These two phones, if you put them side by side, they look like real siblings, and they actually are. There are very few differences between these two phones, and I'll try to highlight the differences in this video. The Redmi 3S is a smaller phone with 5-inch display, and it comes with a slightly slimmer profile of 8.5mm, whereas the Redmi Note 3 on the other hand is a tad bit thicker at 8.7mm. With naked eyes you would hardly be able to tell the difference. In terms of design as well, they use very similar design language. Buttons on the both are on the right hand side with volume rockers on top. The top of the phones are also very similar with 3.5mm audio port, IR blaster and secondary mic hole. The left side on both phones get the SIM card trays, which is dual SIM hybrid trays. The bottom get charging port as well as the primary microphone hole. The rear on both the phones get fingerprint scanner. On the Redmi Note 3 you would find centrally aligned camera module of 16 megapixel, whereas it is on the side on the Redmi 3S, which is an easy identifier. If you are looking at these phones from a distance, you can easily tell that this is Redmi 3S and this is Redmi Note 3. The speaker placement is at the bottom but is slightly different looking on both the phones. Apart from that, the weight of the phones is also different. The Redmi 3S, naturally being a smaller phone, is around 20 grams lighter at 144 gram compared to 164 gram weight on the Redmi Note 3. On the display front, there is a 5-inch high definition 720p display on the Redmi 3S, whereas the Redmi Note 3 gets 5.5-inch full high definition display, which gets a better display resolution. In terms of chipset or the processor underneath, there is Snapdragon 430 chip on the smaller Redmi 3S, whereas the Redmi Note 3 gets a mightier Snapdragon 650 chip. Although the Snapdragon 430 is an octa-core chip compared to the Snapdragon 650, which is a hexa-core, but the cores on the Redmi Note 3 are more powerful, and hence the performance of Redmi Note 3 is superior to that of the Redmi 3S. In terms of graphics performance, both phones do very well at gaming and graphics intensive tasks because they are both using Adreno 5 series GPUs. There is 505 on Redmi 3S and Adreno 510 on the Redmi Note 3. Both phones are well tuned for gaming. In terms of RAM and memory configuration, both the phones come in different variants of memory and RAM. There is 3GB RAM and 32GB internal memory variant and 2GB RAM and 16GB internal memory variant on both the phones. You also get powerful cameras on the rear of these phones. The Redmi 3S gets a 13 megapixel camera with f-stop 2.0, whereas the Redmi Note 3 gets a mightier 16 megapixel camera. Both the cameras perform great in their own right. The front cameras on both the phones is 5 megapixel. The aperture of camera on the Redmi Note 3 at front is slightly better at f-stop 2.0 compared to f-stop 2.2 that you find on the Redmi 3S. But in practicality, both cameras produce good quality selfies. Another difference is in battery capacity. There is a 4100 mAh battery on the Redmi 3S, which is the smaller phone, and there is a 4000 mAh battery on the Redmi Note 3. Redmi Note 3 itself gives great battery life, with the Redmi 3S having a slightly larger battery, less resolution on the display and a slightly lesser powerful chipset. It is expected to last even longer compared to Redmi Note 3. So if battery life is your primary concern, you should straight away pick up Redmi 3S. Some of the common features which are worth mentioning that both phones support are IR blaster, USB OTG support. Both are dual SIM phones and they come with hybrid memory card slot. If you plan to use it as a dual SIM device, you can only put 2 SIM cards and cannot expand the memory, in which case we will suggest you go for the 32 gigs internal memory variant. Both the phones are great buy if you are looking for a compact phone which is easy to use with one hand. Redmi 3S should be your natural choice. But if you prefer large screen, more resolution and better graphics, you should go for Redmi Note 3. They are priced very close to each other and both great buy in their price segment. I'm leaving Best Buy links in the description section below. You can pick up either of them and they are both very good. If you want to pick up one for yourself, I'm leaving Best Buy links in the description section below where you can get one for the Best Buy price. If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Do let us know in the comment section below what you think about this, and do share your suggestions. Subscribe for more such videos. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.